at work first day. How do you want us to call you? And I said, it's Konstantinos. For short, it's Costa if you prefer that. And they said, no, Konstantinos. It was so hard for everybody to get to know how to say it, how to pronounce it. But now everybody knows. You can ask the CEO, and if you say Konstantinos, they know who I am. There's only one in the
Oh my
building.
God, yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
And we actually are live right
Yes.
now. Let's go.
Let's
What's
go.
going on, everybody? We got Fog, John, Woodsy, Joe Beretta. What's going on, guys? I know Big Stan and Big Luke are doing a live stream together right now. All right, I'm not trying to infringe, but maybe I'm gonna do some stuff later. So I'm just hanging out here for the time being. And thank you so much for Konstantinos for gracing me this evening or afternoon.
Thank you for having me, sir. Let's
Mhm.
cut to the chase. Come on.
Okay, let's do it. Well, Chad, call me Lon. Cesar,
Oh,
Mr.
let me
Potato,
say
gotta
hello
hit
to
them all up.
Caesar.
Yeah.
Caesar is here. Hold on. Let's say a special hi to Caesar because he's a big supporter.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's everywhere. So, like you said, let's cut to the chase. Fine, let's do
Yes.
it. Um, so for those of you who are unaware, because it's been a long time since we actually got together. A lot of people don't know we did once, about 7 months ago, and I reached out to you on behalf of a video you did, which was titled "Amex just canceled all my cards," with no hesitation, no apology, and all that. And I reached out to you and I was like, oh man, this news is crazy because there's a lot of other Amex news going on. And this was just like, oh no, is Amex going to cancel everybody's cards? So I reached out to you and we did a bunch of live streams and we did a live stream together and pretty much like broke the news on what happened. And it was a whole big thing. So um, I feel like there's a lot of people that didn't know that happened. So if you want, just for a quick minute, tell us what happened. How did Amex cancel your cards? What was the deal?
Let me start from the beginning because this started years ago when at some point I wanted to give a credit card to my mother. My mother lives in Greece permanently. So I said, okay, what if I want to send her money or what if I want to help her in any way? Um, can I give her a credit card of mine and she can have and can use whenever? I called Amex and I said, hey, can I do that? And they said, yes, you can do it because in the end of the day, you are the primary card holder, you are responsible. So we don't care what she does with it, you are responsible in the end of the day. This is what they
Mhm.
told me on the phone.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't know at the time, apparently, American Express has a requirement that whomever gets as authorized users into your credit cards, they need to have a social security number.
Hmm.
At the time, I didn't know. I gave credit cards to friends of mine that are business owners, and they do this for life, like for living. They do conventions around the world. They use it for restaurants. They use it for hotels, and we're talking big numbers. So I said, "What's this is the best situation here. I can give
Yeah.
them the credit cards. We can all have a bunch of points." I gave it to them. They use it for like good 3 months, let's say. Um, Now, a few times payments did bounce, but they bounced only because of glitches in the system. The money was always there because second, third try, one after the other, and they would go through. So it
Mhm.
was this kind of glitches, I guess. At some point, one day, I was at work and I get email after email, and everything says your gold is canceled, your platinum is canceled, your
Jeez.
delta gold is canceled, everything. I have like 6 Amex credit cards and everything was canceled. I was shocked. I went to the app, I saw that everything was canceled. I called them and I said, what's going on? They said, we can't tell you, we're going to send you something in the mail. I was waiting for them. They finally sent something, and all they said was a payment bounce. A payment bounce. That's it. They didn't say about social security numbers. They didn't say
Yeah.
about anything else. Now, from that point where I made the first video of the cancellation to where they answered and they told me this, there was a bunch of speculation. Everybody went on my videos and commented, "Oh, you did something weird, scammer." They said a bunch of things, right?
Mhm.
And I can tell you, regarding the social security thing, it was an honest mistake. I didn't know. I didn't know this. I went
Mhm.
to from whatever Amex told me. But even Amex itself didn't say anything about that. They
Yeah.
said a payment bounced. But it was very funny to see how easy people are to just jump and
Yeah,
make, you know, allegations.
of course.
Um, and they said, "Oh, you're probably blacklisted. You'll never get Amex credit cards again." So I wanted to test that. I when I called the representatives in Amex, I asked them, "Can I reapply?" And they said, "Sure." And can
Hmm.
I get sign-up bonuses again? Yes, if you haven't had the credit cards before, you can get sign-up bonuses. I don't see anything here on the system that would prevent you
Hmm.
from doing that.
Yeah.
And just to test it, I got the only Amex credit card that I think is really worth it always, which is the Business Plus.
Hmm.
2x on everything. No sign up bonus. Unfortunately, when I got it, it didn't have sign up bonus. Then there was a time where it did have sign up bonus. And now
Hmm.
I think it doesn't. It went back to not having anything.
Hmm.
But I couldn't get it anyway because I already had it. But I was approved. If they gave it to me with like $14,500 credit limit, so everything
Wow.
seems to be fine.
Wow.
I just did it to prove my point that I didn't do anything and I
Yeah.
wasn't blacklisted. It was whatever. It was an honest mistake. If I told them I tried to appeal, and they put everything. They took notes from what I said. Nobody ever responded again, and I just left it alone. I didn't bother to call again.
Hmm.
But that's where I left everything with American Express. Now, the video that you saw, the last one, I
Yeah.
had a whole collection, right? And I had also some of my authorized users cards. So I had like three platinums here. So I'm like, what can I do with these credit cards? You know? So I
They're
always wanted,
useless, right?
yes, right. Yeah, they just take space. So before I trash them, no, I wanted to trash them before, but now that they look so cool, I don't want to. Uh,
Right.
so I said, let me use my pellet gun, and I have a very good one, to shoot them and see how it goes, how strong they really are.
Oh my god. Let me see.
And yeah, yeah. So I at first I tried the first one. It was the blue cash, and it's
Oh
nothing, right?
wow.
It's very plastic, so it's like it was nothing. I said, okay, this went through, and I didn't even realize. I shot it twice before I realized something happened to it.
Yeah.
And then I put four of the plastic cards. So I put the blue, the Business Plus, my old Business Plus, the Delta Gold, and my, what is that? The Blue Preferred.
Oh
Okay,
yeah. You put all four of them.
all of four of them, and it went through like nothing, like
Really?
nothing.
Whoa. Huh.
So then I say, okay, that's obviously very tough. At this point, I'm shooting uh, with lead pellets.
Mm.
So I shot the first on the platinum, and as you see here, it just did a dent on it. It
Whoa.
didn't. It didn't go through. Tough cookie. So I got the penetrating pellets. I have some penetrating pellets. I have a bronze tip, very cool, 22 caliber. My rifle, and look,
Wow.
boom, like nothing, butter,
Huh.
like butter. Then I start putting one after the other. As you see here, look at the center. Look at the head of the centurion here.
Uh-oh. Jeez.
You see, two. That's two.
It's devastating. You're a pretty good shot too. Same
So,
spot, huh?
dude, let me tell you something. And as you see here, like look in the bottom here, same
Yeah.
thing.
Wow.
See, it just goes through. So if it goes through with a pellet gun, this cannot protect you. If you think that you're gonna have your wallet with your metal cards and protect you from something, forget it. If it went through with a pellet gun, a real rifle or a gun, forget it.
I used to hope. I was like, maybe one day if I'm in a sketchy neighborhood, I'm gonna put them. I'm gonna put them in the
No,
little
no,
pocket.
no.
Bing. No, that's gonna go right
Maybe
through
for a knife. Maybe for a knife.
for a
And
knife.
and here,
Oh, oh my
a
god.
gold. Look at the gold.
Jeez. Yeah, I
Yeah.
wonder if a knife would stop it. I bet it would.
If you have a couple of these, probably will stop it. But the pellet gun is just too tough.
That is.
An American Express, they say.
Yeah, MR on American Express. Oh god. Uh, Michael Wong. I thought you need either an SSN or ITIN. Yeah, that was. Yeah, that was one of the main issues that they never really told you to begin with. So it is
Yeah,
honest.
no, they didn't. They didn't. Okay, maybe I should be careful and read and the details and everything, but you know,
It
I
happens.
went. I went through whatever the representative. At the point, they had a promotion for the gold. If you were getting one for an authorized user, you would get 10,000 points, something like that. That's why I was looking into getting it at that point. But
Hmm.
that's what happened with the American Express. And let me tell you, I thought, okay, I'm gonna rebuild my American Express collection. And I made videos about this at the end of last year, and I said I still want to go with American Express because I really like the Hilton
Hmm.
Aspire. And guess what? They messed it up. Now others love it. If you ask Caesar here, he's loving it. Doesn't matter. Whatever you tell him with American
Yeah.
Express,
Yeah.
give me Amex all day long. That's all I
Yeah.
need. Life is good. For
Right.
me, uh, they messed it up because if you're an occasional traveler and you don't do this for business and you do 2 travels a year, would you really try to go to a Hilton resort just for the credit? What if you get a bunch of other hotels at a cheaper price, even resorts? Like, it doesn't make sense. Before, you could use that whole in one trip. One trip was good enough
Yeah.
to get all your money back and make some profit. You
Hmm.
could use the night, the anniversary
Yeah.
night. You could use all the credits in one trip, and you were 100% profit immediately without swiping it once. Now you have to use it. American Express is doing it all the time. The other day, who was it? It was Ask Sabi. He made
Hmm.
a video and he was talking about the green card. That now, if you had a platinum or a gold, you
Hmm.
can you can get a sign-up bonus for the green card.
Yeah.
If you had a gold, you can get a sign-up bonus, obviously for the gold and
Yeah.
also for the green card. And if you had the platinum, you can get for any of the others. So you have
Yeah.
to start from the green, then go to the gold, then go to the platinum.
Hmm.
What the heck is going on here? Like they keep adding things and things and things and things. I said it before. Make it $2,000. I don't care. The platinum. Make it $2,000. If your thing is that you don't want too many people in, make it $2,000.
I mean, yeah. It's
But
true.
keeping it at 700 and keep adding things and hoops, and everybody has to like think and put everything on a spreadsheet before they use their credit card.
Hmm.
It's just disgusting. And can you name one American Express credit card that you can use without thinking too much, except for the Business Plus, obviously?
I guess not. Yeah. I guess that would be the one. Hmm. So you definitely think that no matter all the changes that have happened, so like I guess the family language, also like the Hilton revamp, the Delta revamps, you think they've all been net negative for Amex cards?
They're not negative. Listen, they have the potential to be great credit cards, but they're not as easy to use as before. That's my problem.
Hmm.
They keep adding
Yeah.
requirements, they keep adding rules, and it's just getting frustrating. I want something more simple. It's already hard enough to have a bunch of credit cards and remember what to use for what, and you're adding more and more and more requirements on just one credit card, and then
Yeah.
you add on the second, like the Hilton right now. If you don't do 2 trips on a Hilton resort every year, for me, it doesn't make sense. You can say the anniversary night alone, maybe, maybe. It's a big
Hmm.
maybe. But it's certainly not as good as the previous version because the
Hmm.
previous version only one trip would do it. Now
Yeah.
you need two. And
Hmm.
even if you can be ahead with one trip now, you still could be ahead using the anniversary night. The percentage is not the same. I did, you know how I like to
Hmm.
put slides and I present the previous version, the newer version.
Hmm.
The numbers are not lying.
Hmm.
Like if you do a real case scenario and not do everything that you, because many times we present, we make that mistake a lot, all of us. A new credit card comes and we say, oh, it offers lounge access, I assign $50 for it. So
Yeah.
if I use it
Yeah.
twice, that's $100, and you put $100 value there.
Mm.
How do you know? Like, first of all, what is luxury? Is it luxury for you to travel on foot 20, 30 minutes away from your gate, to go maybe to another terminal, to go to a lounge to get a free drink? Is that luxury? Because if you are in Atlanta and you fly from Atlanta all the time and you like Delta, and the lounges are right there, of course it makes sense. But for somebody like me, every time I travel, I find all the lounges are on the other side. What is true luxury? Luxury for me is to sit on my gate,
Hmm.
okay, or close to it. Like, I'm one of those people that you see in memes. Like, I go to check actually that the gate exists, and then I go then I go do everything else.
Yeah. I'd actually, yeah, same.
You know?
Same. So,
Yeah.
so that's interesting. So, you're almost, your thoughts are very true for a lot of people in the community. It's been like the most that's been the current thing, is just that most people are tired of old Amex's changes and the credits and everything's much harder to use, and just wanting more of a simplistic approach, which Stan and Luke actually just mentioned on their live stream. So it's interesting you say, what is luxury? Is luxury, yeah, being 30 minutes from your terminal where you have to walk because the Centurion Lounge is so far away, or
Yeah.
is it being right at the terminal? I mean, it's a good point. And then
If you think
what
about
value
it,
to describe to it? Yeah.
if you think about it, let's say you have that $700, you didn't pay it on an annual fee,
Hmm.
and you make, let's say, most of people make one international trip a year, and let's say you have extra charges for a suitcase, and let's say you pay for the restaurant at the airport and your drinks and everything else. How much would you pay? Let's say $35, $60 for the bag. Let's say $100 round trip. just you know, and then another $100, $200 on restaurants. That's $300,
Hmm.
and you still have $400 to do whatever you want with it. And I hear people say, "Oh, but Uber, oh, but this." I use all my Uber for Uber Eats. I still get it, by the way. After all this time, I still get it.
Wait,
I get
since
the
your
Uber Eats
platinums?
credits and the
No
gold.
way. What?
The platinum and the gold. I get $25 every month. At Christmas, I got 45.
And the card's been canceled for 7 months?
Yes,
No
I
way.
still get the credit.
Oh my god.
And let me
I
tell
would,
you,
yeah. Oh
once they
my.
canceled, they return a good amount of the sign up on the annual fee.
Oh, really?
I got back like $500 total between the two credit cards.
Mm,
So I got like $500 back. I didn't pay the full amount, and I still get the credit.
that's crazy.
Yep.
Like $25 a month for the rest of your life, maybe.
No, it's probably for the year, but yeah,
I
yeah,
guess that would be so funny. We need to check in once the year mark hits, which I guess another 4 months from now, 5 months from now. That is
yep,
so funny.
yep, yep.
It's like winning those sweepstakes, like get a pound of flank steak for life, a pound once a
Uh huh.
month for life. That is so
Uh huh.
crazy. Wow.
Let me comment here something, because I see the
Hmm.
90,000 gold points sign up bonus here. Okay, good. 90,000 points 3 years ago would be big news. 90,000 points today, if you ask me, with inflation, is the equivalent of 65,000 points of back then.
Really?
First of all,
Hmm.
I mean, that's what I see from the pricing. And once that's done, you need to make sure that your credit card makes sense. It's the everyday use that we have an argument here. It's not the sign up bonus. Every credit card makes sense for the first year because you get a sign up bonus. It's what happens from that point after that is what I don't see people thinking a lot. That's
Hmm.
why, again, on my presentations, I'd always first year and second and every year
Hmm.
after.
Yeah.
And you see the percentages. Like, there's credit cards, like easy ones. Let's say like the Freedom Flex. The first year, they have like 60% return on spend
Yeah.
because you get a sign up bonus like $200 for spending like 40%. Oh, I'm sorry, I think it's
Yeah.
40%.
Hmm.
You get like $200, but that's if you use it cash. If you use it like if you have already a Sapphire and you can transfer that, it's double, right? That's what I think that's what I remember. So
Yeah.
it's almost double. Like for Hyatt, the way I'm using it, that $200 is really 400, $500, depending on how what's the return I'm getting from my Hyatt points. Uh, for the first year is amazing. What happens from that year and every year after? And the Freedom Flex, for example, is a 5% credit card. Amazing, amazing. But 65 and every year after. So people do the
Hmm.
same mistake with the gold. They get the gold 90,000. I spend $300. I got the gold, and I got like $900 or more the first year. Good, yes, I agree with you. But what happens the second year?
Hmm.
I think that's what's missing always in the calculations, and everybody assumes, oh, of course I'm gonna go to, I don't know, Cheesecake Factory, and I'm gonna eat, and I'm gonna. How much is to go in one of these restaurants? What does that? What does $10 do to you? If $10 is good money for you, you shouldn't have a platinum or a gold. If you ask me,
Okay.
you
Yeah.
know,
So how do you feel about, because a lot of a lot of people putting predictions out and whatnot, and we obviously saw what happened with the Delta cards, where they got introduced to we got introduced to Resi credits. So now the Resi, the reservation platform that Amex bought, now you have credits towards the Resi restaurants, which on average, those restaurants are fairly expensive. There are some places that they're not. Depends where you are. But how do you feel like that? Because I put out a prediction video saying that I think the dining credits on the gold card may go away and it might be replaced with a Resi credit, because that just means more money for Amex no matter what. How would you feel about like How do you feel about Resi credits in general?
you're
Having said
going
that,
back to what I said. It makes it even more complicated, and you
yeah,
want me to get into your ecosystem and make it even more complicated for me to use. If you want to give a credit, give it for restaurants, any restaurants. The credit is already not much, if you ask me. It's
yeah,
$120 a year, $10 every month. Like, what is that? Give it to me for McDonald's better. At least I can get a free meal for real. Like,
it's true. Yeah.
I don't understand it, man. I was a big fan of American Express. I started as a hater, then I became a
Really?
lover. Yes, yes,
Hmm.
because if back then Chase credit cards were incredible, like the Sapphire Reserve, even the preferred were making a lot of sense. They still do, but they look dated comparing to
Hmm.
what they used to be.
Yeah.
Okay, because if you see even their sign up bonus, they haven't updated their sign up bonuses forever. And every now
Yeah.
and then they come with 80,000 points for the preferred, and they say, oh, 80,000 points. Yeah, well, that's not as good as it used to be. Still
Hmm.
not bad, but you know. But Amex have gone really complicated. It's like this. People like to say, "Oh, it's like an expensive woman. You have it, and it needs a lot of maintenance, but oh, it's worth it." That's good for a little bit. If
Hmm.
you are new with American Express and you're getting all the sign up bonuses, be my guest.
Yeah.
Get all of them, starting with the green, as we know now.
Right.
Okay, but anything more than that, I would say stay away. First of all, everybody knows that American Express is end game. You have
Hmm.
everything else, and then you go to American Express because they approve you on top of everything. Going back to the luxury, is it luxury if everybody can have it? You tell me.
That's good. That's a good point.
Do you know how many people do you know that were not approved for American Express? I know more people that were not approved for Capital One basic credit cards than American Express Platinums.
Hmm. That's funny. Actually, I did a podcast with the CEO of Credit One, and he made a joke, but it was actually kind of on the point what you just mentioned, which was, I was like, "Well, Amex is great. They give me a lot of value. I have 6 of their cards, etc." He was like, "How many Credit One cards do you have?" I was like, "None." He's like, "How exclusive is Amex really that they give you a card if you have a Pulse, right?" And it obviously that's a joke, but it is kind of true. I mean, it's a lot harder for me to actually accumulate chase cards than it is. I mean, I had 6 before. I had 6 Amex cards before I even got my second chase card. Because of their rules and whatnot. So I don't
Yeah,
know. Do you almost feel like Amex should have? Because if that's their plan, you almost expect them to maybe raise the annual fee to 2,000, like you said, or have some sort of other measures in place, like a 524, almost like they're doing with family language,
I
which I think is
wish.
a little weird. But yeah.
I wish. I wish. If you want to be exclusive, if you want to be a niche credit card as you like to portray yourself and be exclusive, how there's only two things that you can be exclusive. Two things, two ways.
Hmm.
One, price, outprice the customer.
Hmm.
That's the one. And the other one is exclusivity, rarity. If you are rare and people can't even get it, regardless if they have money or not. So yes, I have $700. Oh, I'm not giving it to you. Who are you? Then you would say, oh. So then it would make sense to be happy to have a platinum because hey, you also have 700, but I have it. You don't.
Hmm.
Because that's what people are looking for. Like I know people. It sounds very shallow, but people do see these kind of things. They like,
Yeah.
oh, I like the weight of it. I like if you really didn't care, you wouldn't care if it's metal. You wouldn't care how much it weighs. Look how many YouTube videos there are about its weight, about how it looks, about its shine, about I don't know
Yeah.
what.
The drop test. Yeah.
Yeah, drop tests. Because if you really didn't care about these things, you would have it on your phone.
Yeah.
You would go
Yeah.
with the Apple Pay and go like this.
It's true. Yeah. It's funny too. I think RJ might have mentioned that, like he liked the exclusivity of, like when the Amex Rose Gold. You know how I feel about the Amex Rose Gold; it's the worst. But when that was originally a limited edition drop, like oh now you can get the Amex in Rose Gold, the gold card in Rose Gold. Like everybody wanted it. Like it was
Exactly.
super hyped there. But now that they made it just common, well, it's back to sucking again. Sorry, everybody else.
Exactly. They did the same with the Delta card. Remember when they had the Delta, the special version from a
Yeah.
747
Yep.
metal? They did the same thing. Everybody jumped on it. Oh, I got it. If you didn't care about these things and you're not a shallow, you wouldn't care. But you
Yeah.
care. Let's
We
be
love it.
honest here. We care. We care. All of us care. I like to be a little exclusive, but what I'm trying to say is that Amex is not that.
Hmm.
So John says here, Capital One is more niche in my opinion. Yes,
Yeah. A lot of people have a hard time getting to Venture X, for sure.
yes, yes. I remember when I had a 680 credit score back in the day, I
Hmm.
couldn't get a Capital One credit card.
Hmm. They're
They
pretty
kept saying
exclusive.
no. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's very hard. And once you get one, you need to wait. Try to apply for a second. You'll see.
Yeah. And
They're not giving it to you.
I want to
Yeah.
ask you something else on that too. I just wanted to mention a couple things. MR, very important comment. He says Apple Card is the Lizzo of credit cards. It's heavy and makes a lot of noise. Good to know. Um, Joe Fredo says I can't get a Saver One. Oh Lord. Keith is bored. Yeah, we know. Keith is very bored of American Express. He says they can keep their monthly credits. Keith is all about Built Card right now. He's like, I'm just gonna fund all my
I
business spend
love
through the
Build.
Built Card. Really? Yeah.
Dude, you pay rent.
Yeah.
Do you have it?
Yeah, I do.
That's the card to have. If you rent, that's the one card to have. I got 30,000 points last year.
Hmm,
Thirty
not
thousand
bad.
points,
Well, I'm
which I all
lucky enough.
transferred
Mhm.
to Hyatt.
Of course, yeah, you have
Ah,
to. I'm lucky enough that my apartment has a portal where I can pay with any credit card, so I've just been getting a bunch of business cards like I've never gotten before, just
okay,
putting that
okay.
spin. So I'm going crazy with ink cards at the moment,
No, that's
uh,
good. That's
trying
good.
to get as many points as possible.
I'm under 524 finally, so that's what I'm doing now. Last I got was the IHG business,
Hmm,
the Premier the business. I hit the sign up bonus. Now I have 152,000 IHG points.
hmm,
Um, which 3 nights. That means the fourth night would be free.
yeah.
So there you go. Incredible credit card. And the next one I want to get is the Hyatt business. I already have
Hmm,
their standard Hyatt.
Hmm.
So once I finish with whatever business version I can get of all these nice credit cards, then I'll try to see if I can maybe cancel a bunch of my Chase credit cards and reapply, because it's been years since I had them, over
Mm.
24 months.
Yeah.
So I'm eligible technically for another sign up bonus.
Hmm.
Um, so that's what I'm
Yeah.
gonna try to do once I'm done with the business. But I'm working on the business cards now. Um, but after that, honestly, what's out there? What's out there? Like once you finish with the Chase credit cards, okay, like City's dead. City's pretty dead. It's been dead for some time now, except for the custom cash.
Hmm.
Capital One is fine. Wells Fargo is coming up.
Hmm. I think so.
I mean, they have the build. I can tell you that now that I had my son, for the hospital bills, I got the what is it? That card. What is it? That has 21 months zero APR. You don't even need to think about anything. Reflect.
Wells
This
Fargo
one.
Reflect. Right. 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 I
So
saw you made a video on that.
that's something that everybody should have, if they have debts or whatever. Oh, Stan is here. Oh,
I want this.
hi, Stan. Oh, I love Stan. Man, he's amazing. Um,
He was excited to see you on.
he is so nice. Oh my god, Stan is nice. Uh,
Well, thank you, Stan, and thank you, Philmo. Well, Philmo first. He said, "Oh, thank you for the 524 super chat, man. I fall below 524 in a few weeks. Love the live, guys. Yeah, man. I saw you in the Stan chat. Same. I'm very happy for you, Phil. Phil couldn't happen to a better person. Phil's a great person. And Stan, the Costa Amex saga continues. Yeah, I didn't expect Konstantinos Costas to start hating on Amex completely, but I'm here for it. You
Listen,
know.
I'm all about the numbers. I don't hate anything. If
Okay.
tomorrow they
Yeah.
fix something, I'll come back and say, you know what, they fixed it.
Hmm.
I'm all for it. I just like to put the numbers, as you have seen in my presentations. I do first year, I do second year, and sometimes I take the same credit card and I say, okay, how does it compare with the competition?
Hmm.
Okay, instead of having this, I could get this, or this. How does this compare? And then you see the difference. And they still make sense. That's what I'm trying to say here. I'm not hating, I'm saying that they still make sense, but not nearly as much as they used to.
Gotcha.
And on top of that, it's irritating that they put all these different rules, and it makes it harder. It doesn't I'm not saying that they don't work. I'm not saying that they're not making sense,
Hmm.
especially for the first year. But you need to be also realistic. How many people really need the platinum? Are you a project manager traveling the country? Are you having so much money that you do at least 2 Hilton resorts a year? If that's the case, then maybe you don't even need it. But let's say hobby sake, you take it. But for the average person that travels once a year, we like to fantasize us guys. I'm gonna get that convertible and I'm gonna get chicks. But you forget you're married with 3 kids and no money.
Oh my
So,
god.
like, we like to let's be realistic here. How many people do really need a platinum?
Hmm.
Really need the platinum, and will
Yeah.
get good usage out of it. Does your airport have a Centurion lounge? Is it close to your gates that you typically fly? Like, you have to think about these things. I didn't. That's why I'm saying, I'm talking by experience here. I got the platinum. I got to the airport. I'm like, okay, where's my lounge? Oh, the other building. I'm like, are
Oh
you
no.
joking? The other building? I go to Europe. Where's my lounge? On the other side of this building. I'm
Jeez.
like, what's the purpose? Or wait. You have to go and you wait. I went with my daughter to Costa Rica, and we stopped in Atlanta. We were flying Delta. I have my platinum. I go to the lounge and they say, yeah, you are free. Your daughter is $40. I'm like, $40? She's going to drink an orange juice. Are you like,
Yeah.
I'm like, man, thank you. No, thank you. That was the end of it.
Hmm.
That that day, I'm like, what do I have this for? If I can get my then 7-year-old to get an orange juice, forget it.
Yeah, that is kind of ridiculous. I feel
I'll
like there
just
should
pay
be
out of pocket.
an age limit, like, oh, I don't know, maybe above, above.
Listen,
I don't know. Who knows?
people
It's
do take advantage of these cards, and back in the day, you could have two people coming in
yeah.
with you, so you could see whole families. So you had two credit cards, and you had 6 people in.
Hmm.
Okay, so okay, that was too much. But not be able to get your partner with you
Yeah.
again, make it more, charge more, make it $1,000. Just don't make it hard for me,
Yeah.
or have to apply for an authorized user card.
Hmm. So I guess with everything that's happening, and once again, Stan and Phil, I appreciate you guys for the super chat. So with all this happening, what do you foresee happening with American Express in the coming months when they eventually revamp, the platinum and the gold card? What do you think ends up happening?
I don't know what's going to happen. I can tell you what I hope will happen: that they will increase the sign-up bonus, they will increase the annual fee, and they will cut all these hoops that they have. Oh, you have to use this. We're gonna give you $2 this month, and if you don't use it, you lose it. $10 for that month for this, and things that you don't need that are travel related. Who cares about gyms? Who cares about this kind of things? Like, if it's a travel credit card, give me travel credit.
Yeah.
Give me travel credit. I don't care about the gym. I don't care about the bike. What was that bike?
Peloton.
The Peloton. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't care. If I have $3,000 to spend on a Peloton bike, I don't like want a $200 credit.
Yeah.
You
Honestly.
know, give me something for travel. Focus a little more. But
Hmm.
that's the thing. I think that they give us whatever they can get from vendors, whatever
Yeah.
they can get from other companies that they work with. They say, oh, if you put this on your credit card, then we'll cover the charges. And they say, oh, now you have one free burger every month with the platinum. If McDonald's was the, I don't know, I don't know. I think that it's just getting worse at this point. I think that also the numbers look great. Let me tell you, I'm in a market here that the unemployment is less than 3%.
Hmm.
Okay, it's a very good market. It's hot all the time. Even in 2008, when everything went to hell, here it was okay. Okay, nothing went too bad here
Hmm.
because it's government. Everything is government here.
Hmm.
So people have stable jobs. It doesn't change that much. The problem is that yes, you can get jobs, but not necessarily the job that you want.
Hmm.
You know, that's the problem. You're not getting the jobs that you want. So yeah, under 3%, I can be a waiter, sure. Can I be a painter in painting buildings or whatever? Sure. But can I be an architect or a nuclear scientist? That's a little more difficult. I know people that apply, and they can't get anything. So I think that the real economy is a little off from what they show us,
Hmm.
and that's why things are cooling down. As I said many times, my other hobby is watches. I love watches, and that's where I see all the trends. They're the first to drop and the first to come up. And they keep dropping, keep dropping, keep dropping, and we're very low right now,
Hmm.
almost pre-pandemic levels,
Yeah.
which tells me that money is cooling down. And if money is
Hmm.
cooling down, then maybe travel will cool down. And if travel cools down, that tells me that you will see incentives from the banks, um, to attract people. So maybe you will see bigger sign-up bonuses. Maybe you will see
Hmm.
better deals out there. I'm really thinking that this will be the case, just because of how I see things. Uh, I will see. Time will tell. What do you think?
Definitely. definitely. Well, first let me mention Fog. Appreciate you, man. 10 spot coming in hot.
I need to make one of those
He's
lives, man.
crazy.
You
Yeah,
make.
man. What are you doing?
I don't
You got to get
know.
on the
You'll
lives.
be my first. You'll be my first.
Oh, for many, hopefully more things to be first. Um, thank you, Fog. Appreciate you, man. Just a super sticker. Yeah, that's what you call those super stickers.
Look. He wants a wristwatch check. This is the Hamilton gift of my wife. Um, Hamilton pilot,
Mm-hmm.
and this is from the movie Interstellar. Cooper. It's the Cooper in the Murph. I have the Cooper. I'm gonna give a Murph to my daughter one day.
Oh wow.
If you know, you know. What do you have, Luke? Luke is
Actually,
amazing,
I
though.
don't know what Luke has actually. I
Luke
haven't
has
even looked at it.
Omegas.
Oh,
Luke has Omegas. He's a fancy boy. He has his Omegas. What else does he have? I'm
he said he
forgetting.
just got a Hamilton.
He wants. He's gonna have one. Very cool. Ah, there you go.
Hmm.
Well, wear it in good health. But
Yes.
yeah, he wants a Rolex now. But that's very tacky. I don't know.
Uh oh.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. Every time I see somebody,
What do you think about mine? Mine was a, mind you, gift from my wife many years ago. It's the only one I
so,
wear now.
so you
It's
don't
a
want me to say
Citizen.
anything. Oh, I
I
love
mean,
Citizen. Are you
you could
joking? I
say
have a
what you want.
Citizen.
Do you
I
really?
have a Citizen. Of course, I have a Citizen. Everybody should have a Citizen.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I'm not really into the space that much.
Field
Watch
watch,
world.
titanium blue. Ooh, look at Luke. He's fancy. Hamilton
Hmm.
Field watch, titanium blue. Nice, nice. Yeah.
See, you're built for this, man. You got to be doing some lives for sure.
Some what? Some.
Some lives, so you can you can talk to the
What can
people.
I
You
say?
just
I can talk. Somebody said before. I saw your comment. Oh, he doesn't stop talking. He said he's in.
oh, really? I didn't even see that.
I saw it.
Okay.
I saw. It's true.
uh, let's see.
Oh, Caesar
Wait.
got the Murph. Oh, Caesar got the Murph.
Oh wow. Wait, and Keith two spot makes someone a mod so they can crush the troll. I know I've been doing that. You can see I'm looking at constant, and then I'm changing. Keith, I just made you honorary mod. I heard that you're pretty good at it, so because you wrote that, I just made you a mod. So hopefully that that can help. There's something happening with live streams lately. The last two that I've done, they've been pushing out to crazy audiences. Just like I think they're really testing live streams right now in this way, and they're just pushing out to just a bunch of random people. So a
Hmm.
bunch of people putting a lot of sexual stuff in the chats and whatnot that I'm blocking.
Nothing wrong with
People not from
sexual
the
stuff.
community. I
Let
mean, I
the
get
sexual.
it. I know. Listen, I'm not trying to curb your sex, appeal and urges, Konstantinos, but you know, in the
I mean,
chat every now and again,
I don't
yeah,
know. I'm too Greek for that.
too
I was
Greek for that.
raised among naked statues, so for me it's very normal. I don't know.
That's a good point. Yeah, did they ever use you for a statue once? Did they ever like put you when you were in Greece?
No, we just see them. It's on the books. Like you open the school book, second grade, and you see statues. And
I'm just
you're
saying,
like,
you look
oh,
pretty good. Maybe they put you as a statue, and they say we're going to make Konstantinos Points a statue. You know, we need to put him in history here, and have one credit
too,
card like
too,
this.
too many good people there. Good looking people there.
Okay.
But thank you. But thank you. I appreciate it.
No problem. That's funny. Richie said the crossover between the credit community and the watch community is growing. Oh Lord, yeah. It seems like there is a correlation between watch people and credit card people because in the Discord and stuff, people are always talking about watches. Um,
I can tell you why.
Boy.
They're both guy hobbies. If you see everybody here is a guy, like
Mm.
most of them at least, and who likes watches except for guys?
I guess, yeah.
Like I bought my wife a watch and she was like, "Thank you." I'm like, "You're not gonna ask me about its movement. You're not gonna ask me about."
Yeah, they don't care. That's funny.
Look at
What the
Luke's
heck? God
comment.
likes those giant. Oh my God, Luke! He likes those giant. You know
Hey,
the roosters, right? Anyway.
yes.
Oh my God! Appreciate you, Keith. Oh Lord, that is so funny.
Yeah, yeah.
I knew we were getting into debauchery. I had a whole bunch of stuff like already, but I was like, yeah, we'll just have a good time. That's all that matters. Another thing I'd noticed too, not just watches, but people
They're
really
all over
love.
greasy.
Are they really? I didn't know. I haven't been there
They
yet.
are. They are. They are. They are. but they're not big cock. They're small cock.
Interesting.
Yes, yes. Because you know why though?
Why? Just little?
Because they used to say that the smaller the cock on the statue, the bigger the brain. So you want to have somebody to focus on their head, on their minds, and not on other things.
Really? So
Yes.
they want one head to be bigger than the other, is what you're saying.
Right. That's why you
Okay.
only see there's only one statue that has a big erection there, and that's the Satyrus. That's why you see satiric.
Uh-huh.
It's from Satyrus. It's very
Oh,
interesting. If you Google it, you will see. You're gonna love it. It's very
interesting.
interesting to see. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Is it like a mockery statue?
It's so it's an allegory, right? They used to show
Hmm.
freedom or victory as statues, as ladies. So have you seen the lady of the blind lady of the judge, for example, that has the little scale that holds like this? Judges use it all the time
Yeah.
as that's an allegory. Obviously, you can't. Judgment is not a person,
Hmm.
so you make a person. You make a person to show something. So Satyrus is about saying about not caring about anything really. So they portray them as a guy with a big erection. It's very interesting. Very interesting.
It's very I know. Very very interesting.
Yeah,
Oh Lord. This is too
yeah.
much. This is way too much. What anything else about Greek history that we should know about, you think? Anything
No,
that had
that's
great
too much,
lessons?
too much, too much, too much.
It's too
We
much.
already talked too much about it. No,
Okay,
but we
yeah.
can go back to credit cards if you want, or I don't know.
Fine. Well, I also I would be remiss if I didn't say it live as well, but I said it off camera, which was you just had a newborn
Yes, I
boy,
did.
man.
Uh-huh.
Congratulations.
Thank you, appreciate it. That's why all everybody lost me for a little bit. It's a newborn. We are almost 2 months now,
Hmm.
and also had still have family for the past 2 months. I've been having family from Costa Rica, from Greece. The last person leaves. My mom leaves on the 28th, so in exactly 11 days,
Hmm.
and then I should be good to go. But
Nice.
we have a newborn, people. It's a little crazy. It's a little crazy.
Yeah. And I wanted to ask
Thank you,
too
Luke. Huh?
with oh, you're right. Oh, Keith for
Oh,
sure. Absolutely. I wanted to
thank
ask
you, thank
too, so like with having a kid and everything, well, I'm happy for you to be able to come back to YouTube, full force again, do some live streams too. It's a lot of fun. But I heard that your credit card strategy has changed since having a kid, kind of reflecting on the Wells Fargo Reflect that you just mentioned earlier, right?
you. Correct. I mean, I was expecting to travel less, so I said, okay, do I need travel credit cards? No. But then I realized I'm under 524.
Hmm.
So now I'm getting intrigued, right? I'm like, that's why I got the IHG,
Hmm.
the business one, because I eventually want to get the personal. I want to have both. I want to have two anniversary nights. I want to spend $400 on Hyatt and IHG and
Hmm.
get four anniversary nights,
Yeah.
plus all the other benefits that they offer.
Hmm.
So I think that's a great deal, and it's 100% profit if you think about it, because IHG offers 40,000 points that you can top off whatever you have, or use them as standalone lump sum, or have the Hyatt ones that have the anniversary night up to category four,
Hmm.
which in my experience, last time I used it, the anniversary night, it was $350 in a hotel in DC.
Yeah.
Um, and I used it just to use it before my wife delivered the baby. So we went in there for a night.
Hmm.
It was $350. So for $95, I got $350 returned. So that was amazing if you think about it.
Oh yeah.
For how many credit cards can you say that?
Hmm. So you
So
think you'll be collecting more cards like that just have anniversary, like a Marriott Boundless card, stuff like that?
I always say that.
Hmm.
I always say that the hotel credit cards are no brainers, especially
Hmm.
the ones with the anniversary night. Of course, like that's what I mean. The anniversary night hotel
That's
credit cards are no brainers. Everybody should have them. I am getting them. I have two right now, and I'm planning to get two more from Chase and then move on to see what else exists, probably in the American Express world, but nothing fancy.
Hmm.
Basic anniversary night. I don't know. That's the thing. Like they took the anniversary night from the basic $95 in Marriott. They nice at $200, and like I don't know. It's a little complicated the way they made things.
Hmm.
That's my problem. But again, I'm open. If something changes, believe me, I'm gonna do the numbers and I'm gonna put it there and I'm gonna show you. And I'm gonna go out and say, you know what? They fixed it. But until that happens, I'm gonna stick with basic hotel credit cards for now. Um, Now that the hotel bills came and I know where we're standing, I really didn't even need the credit card, honestly. The Wells
Yeah.
Fargo Reflect, but it's a good to have because it's zero annual fee for 21 months. Why not?
0% APR.
0% APR,
Hmm.
zero annual fee, no points, no nothing.
Yeah.
But hey, if you have a big purchase in mind, you finance yourself for 21 months with zero APR. Come on, doesn't
Hmm.
get better than that.
So you like to have that just kind of revolving, like maybe
I
every.
always have one. Yes,
Really?
yes,
Hmm.
yes, yes. The one before was the Discover It. That was zero APR, zero annual fee
Hmm.
for 15 months. And when I went to like a month before that expired, I went for the Reflect. And before
Hmm.
that, I had the Freedom cards that also have zero APR
Yeah.
for like 12 months or so.
Yeah.
12 or 15, I can't remember. But I always have one that has zero APR.
Hmm.
Always try
That's
to make sure.
interesting. I think that's something not many people in our space kind of talk about because usually the goal is to have everybody watching end up paying their bill, almost immediately after having it.
True.
Calvi also made a video recently talking about like, you could theoretically have a second welcome offer by, again, theoretically taking the money that you would be to pay off that big bill, invest or to put in a savings account, get 4% or something like that, and just, maybe run up balances on 0% APRs. There's a lot of different strategies like that, but yeah, that's interesting. You say that most people should probably just have it in the background just in case if life happens.
I mean, think about it. You can have all that money in the bank and standing, okay, get what, 3, 4%. At this point, they do offer like 4% now,
Yeah.
some banks. Or you can have them invested. Something happens, you use zero APR credit card. The money works and gets about 10% in this market. The market is good, the stock market.
Hmm.
That's good. You get 7, 8, 10%. So you get over double. And if something happens and you really need to pay off that credit card, you have the money in the bank. I'm not saying to being responsible and be in debt. I'm saying have it because it's zero money, it's zero APR. It costs you nothing.
Yeah.
You lose money. Just put it to work for you instead of having it in the bank.
Hmm. Yeah.
That's not very David Ramsey though. But
No, no, it's quite
uh,
opposite for
he
sure.
he would say, "What the hell are you talking about? I don't really know what I'm saying."
He
Yeah.
call you a demon. Um, just money came in. He's also a great guy in the space. He said I need a hotel credit card, which is a good one. Which I figured maybe you want to answer that for him. What he's living in another country. I actually can't remember. I think it's in somewhere in America, but I can't remember the exact country. But he's probably going to start traveling pretty soon now. Which
Who's that?
if someone start just money, he's up a couple messages. Uh, Great guy. I had a talk with him once on here. But if he were to get what do you recommend for people for like a first hotel credit card? Do you think?
The one I got, the Hyatt. Let me
Really?
tell you. Let me
Hmm.
tell you. Or the IHG, honestly, one of the two. IHG has a bigger network. If he's living in South America or outside of the US, they have the biggest network, one of the biggest networks. If you think they have like 5,800 hotels, they're very close to Hilton and Marriott.
Hmm.
So they have a lot of properties, and it's only 95, 99, $99. Okay, and for that you get. It depends on the hotel, But I was checking the other day for Costa Rica, and I can get one of these cheaper hotels for 17 to 20,000 points. So my 150,000 points give me what 5, 6, 7 nights, a full week of vacation just from the sign up bonus, and I'm not even counting anniversary night, and I'm not even counting the fourth night free. So you can get a very good value with the IHG.
Mm.
Hyatt, the the thing with Hyatt, you don't need the Hyatt hotel credit card, to be honest, because if
Yeah.
you have a Hyatt account and you can transfer your Freedom points to, or your Sapphire points to your Hyatt, then you're
Mm.
good. You don't need the credit card itself. You get the value of the points. The IHG, you can't do that because the points are worthless. Basically, they're
Mhm.
they're they're 0.5 cents per point for the most part, where the Hyatt is almost two. It's
Mm.
almost 4 times as much. So that it's two different scenarios. I would say go with the IHG if you want a hotel credit card.
Mm.
IHG Premier, amazing,
Interesting.
amazing, and also it gives you a high status, like the second highest status I think in the chain. So
Mm.
it's yeah.
So how do you feel about like I've had a lot of conversations with people lately about like the luxury side of travel. How do you kind of fare with that? Do you delve into that? Because I've been staying at a lot of properties lately and just been booking out some crazy properties, like you know, maybe not the most crazy ones, but like the Thompson in Savannah, Georgia is like Category 5 Hyatt, and you know got like upgraded a bunch of times. I booked the Waldorf in DC. Like I'm trying to book like crazy luxury ones because I never did it my whole
Do
life.
you own the card? Do you have the card?
Which will the Hyatt?
Yeah,
My wife does. I don't
your
though.
wife does. Okay.
I just get a bunch of Chase ink cards, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
use
yeah.
those points. I booked one for one in Maui, like a crazy Category 8 Hyatt. So I'm starting to come over from budget travel to luxury. But how do you feel about it now that you're you know you've traveled a good amount? Are you What side are you leaning more
No,
nowadays?
I like luxury 100%. I listen. There's and I'll give you specific examples, and I'm gonna go back to Costa Rica again because that's where I used to go all the time. My wife was there, so I went like over 10 times in Costa Rica the past 4 years.
Hmm.
So you can be in San Jose and be in one of the Hyatt places. There's only one Hyatt place in San Jose, the capital of Costa Rica,
Hmm.
and that was 5,000 points.
Wow.
5,000 points. Okay, now listen to this: 5,000 points. If you pay cash, is like $100 to $110 depending on the time of the year. So you get,
Hmm.
let's say, 100% more value. Okay, you
Yeah.
pay 50% less
Yeah.
of what you would pay with points, right? With cash versus points. But when I go to the Andas, which is a 5-star resort in Costa Rica, it starts off season $550 cash, and high season it goes to 1,100 for a basic room,
Jeez.
and it only costs 25,000 points for the most part.
That's great.
So that's 4x.
Yeah.
That's 4x. So instead of 2x, you're getting 4x. So the higher you go, that's why people love American Express when they travel luxury, because they say,
Hmm.
okay, I got 200,000 points, I got a business class seat in the plane. Otherwise, I would pay $20,000. So I
Hmm.
only pay 10%. It's like $2,000, right?
Yeah.
So that's why they love it. But for somebody that travels budget on plane like me, but likes luxury in their hotels,
Hmm.
because in the plane, I don't care how far you go. Are you gonna go more than 24 hours somewhere in the world? You can go to Australia. It's not gonna take you 24 hours. Maybe it will, with a layover, let's say.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it. But hotel, you're gonna be there for days.
Hmm.
That's where I want to spend my money and my points on.
Gotcha.
Like to
Huh.
the point where I went to the Andes in Costa Rica, and at some point I didn't have enough points, and I purchased points
Hmm.
because it ended up being cheaper this way than going. It was on season, so it was cheaper for me to purchase points, and they're not cheap. But it was I paid like $140 for a few thousand points just to make the mark to stay one more night there. But it was $250 to go somewhere else. I'm like, I'm not gonna
Hmm.
leave a 5-star resort
Yeah.
to go to a whomever's hotel, um, for $140. Come on, I'll just do it. And I stayed one more night. Incredible food, incredible. They treat you like king, queen. Incredible. Yeah, they have like these are the details that for me is luxury. It doesn't matter where you go in the resort, at the beach. You can be in any swimming pool. You can be at the restaurants. They have stands with a bunch of sunscreens,
Hmm.
towels. Waiters are going up and down all the time. You can go like this. Somebody's coming immediately. What do you need? They write your order. They. It's an incredible. That's a good experience. You know, that's a
Huh.
good experience. Beautiful views of the ocean. Come on, best sunsets.
That's great.
I'm due for a vacation.
Yeah, I could you're daydreaming.
I am going. I am going. March. I'm going.
Hmm.
I'm going to Costa Rica, and then September
Oh,
I'm going to Greece. I
oh.
have a wedding of a cousin that I'm attending, so I'm gonna go to Greece. And while in Greece, I'm thinking to take a Euro trip somewhere, like maybe another or
Hmm.
maybe two countries. We'll see how that goes. But I think because it's also tiring. You know, I go to the same places over and over. Yes, we have family, but
Yeah.
screw that. I mean, I saw you, I love you. Bye.
Right. Um.
I need something else.
Yeah. Michael Wong said IHG is money. 17K per night in his stay in Osaka,
Yeah.
in Japan.
Wow.
Not bad.
Wow.
Yeah, he's been doing some good
Dude, that's
redemptions for
nothing.
sure.
That's
Huh.
nothing.
Wow.
That's amazing. That's what
And
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That IHG, they have a big variety. That's the thing. The only thing that I will say is that every time I try to find intercontinentals,
hmm,
they would only take cash.
really?
Maybe it's the time of the year that I'm looking,
Hmm.
but I checked different locations too, and only cash, no points. So that's a big difference between Hyatt and the IHG, because
Hmm.
Hyatt basically always you can pay with points,
Yeah.
almost always.
Hmm. That's interesting.
Yeah,
So what kind of brings you to like Costa Rica? Because you mentioned a few times going there and whatnot. What's so great about Costa Rica?
my wife is Costa Rican,
Oh, I didn't know
so
that.
I was going to see. Yeah, got him on my.
Wow.
I mean, I see the first time I went to Miami in 2008. Let me give you a story. I went to Miami in 2008.
Get comfortable.
I was 20 something, right? Early 20s. And I see these women going up and down, like beautiful dresses, brown skin, like caramel. I'm like, I turned to my friend, I'm like, what are these? What is these women? He's like,
What are these?
oh, you like Latinas. I said, these are Latinas? I never saw in my life, to forgive me, but I'm from Europe, right?
Yeah.
So like, these are Latinas? Like, he's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, that's what I like.
That's what I like.
I said, that's what I like. So yeah, yeah, I got myself a Costa Rican, and my daughter's mom is Puerto Rican. So Puerto
Ah.
Rico and Costa Rica. Yeah,
So
yeah.
can I ask then, how'd you guys meet? I mean, you saw this like wave of Latinas and everything out in
No, I didn't meet
Miami.
her there. I met
Oh,
my
okay.
wife here in DC. She was an au pair,
What is it? What's an au
uh,
pair?
a nanny.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I
she was a
never heard
nanny.
that.
She was like Sofia Vergara in
Oh my god.
Modern Family, and she really does look like her, and she talks like her too. So it's very
Really?
funny. The
Wow.
same accent and everything.
Jeez. So
Yes.
so so she was your nanny or someone else?
No, someone else's. We met on an app, but she was in the area. We
Oh.
went outside on a couple of dates, a few dates,
So
and
but
she
I want
left.
to
She went
know.
to Costa Rica.
I want
Yeah,
to know,
yes.
man. How you because you're a suave guy. You're good. How did the first conversations go on the app and everything? Was it just like, hey, how's it going? Let's meet up, or
She
is it
wouldn't
back and
talk to
forth?
me. I tried a few times. She wouldn't answer. Like at the time, I was visiting friends in London. I was in London. I'm like,
Oh,
hey, how are you? Then we talked. She's like, oh. I'm like, when can we meet? She's like, well, when do you have time? I'm like, well, I'm not there now, but I'll be soon.
yeah.
So we should go. And she gave me a hard time. She wouldn't answer my texts. Every other day, she would send me a hi and say, "How are you? Can we meet? I'm good. How are you?" 2 days after, like, but finally, I got her to go out with me, and I saw her, and my wife is like the same height as me, and she had some heels, like 2 inch heels, so she was
Oh,
2 inch
damn.
taller than. I'm like,
Nice to meet you.
what am I doing here? She's not even gonna pay attention to me. But I made it. I made it.
Yeah.
I made it. I I uh, I relaxed. That's the main thing. I relaxed because I said, okay, I have no chances with this woman. I got no chance. Okay, so
Hmm.
I just relaxed and I started talking normally instead of trying to be persuasive and impress her, and that worked.
Hmm.
Yeah, because she could see through the bullshit like nothing, man. Like,
Really?
yeah.
What what was the did that happen all on the first date? Like, were you trying to present yourself a certain way, and then like a little bit through, you're like, you know what, let me act differently, or
No,
was that
first
over the
date.
course of? Oh,
First
really?
date. First date in person. I saw her. I said, I stand no chance here.
Yeah.
So I relaxed immediately. I said, okay, nothing's gonna happen. So I was cool, and that worked. The
Not
rest is
bad.
history.
Not bad. How long into the relationship did you realize that you were in the points of miles game? Heavy.
Well, let me tell you, the thing is that financially I wasn't very good that time
Mm,
when I started dating her, and then she left to Costa Rica after a month or so, and I knew I want to see her, and we took a trip to Mexico that I paid cash for, and
hmm,
that devastated me like financially. I'm like, that's so expensive between tickets, hotels, restaurants. I said, so much money. I hear people about points, talking about points all the time. What's going on with this points thing?
hmm,
That's how I start checking on points. And I remember I got the Sapphire Preferred. That was my first credit card.
hmm,
And it was 80,000 points at the time. And by with the spending and everything, it was close to 90,000 points. I bought a ticket round trip to Costa Rica for 40,000 points at the time. It was off
hmm,
season with Southwest.
hmm,
And I went to Costa Rica. I paid hotels and I paid with points. I didn't book with points. I paid with points. So I paid like 50, $60 for a hotel.
hmm.
And then instead of paying with cash, I paid with
Uh,
points.
hmm.
But it was for 1 week. And in the end of the day, I remember I came back here and I only spent like $300 out of pocket.
Hmm.
Like after I was done with the points, because I had like 50,000 points or like $500, let's say, I spent like, let's say, 300 points, $300 on the hotels, and then another $500 on restaurants and drinks, whatever. Because she also lives there, so we were not in
Yeah.
hotels all the time. And I thought it was crazy. I'm like, I did all that for $300. I'm like, I did all that for $300. That's when I went cuckoo, and I started like studying. The next trip, we went to resorts and everything, and I didn't pay anything. Like I remember telling her at the end of the trip, I'm like, "How much do you think we paid for this?" She says, "How much? 1,000, 2,000, zero." I'm like, incredible.
Wow.
Yeah,
So that's kind of how it started. So how long ago was that now? Was that
it was almost 5 years ago.
5 years ago? Yeah. So you started researching. You're like, wow, this
Four,
is
four,
possible.
yeah, four something years ago.
Gotcha. That must have been really powerful, because like for you to have that moment, like, oh, this trip like took everything out of me, like you said, devastated financially just from
Yes, yes,
going to
yes,
that trip, to now
yes.
being able to subsidize like everything with points and miles. That must have been really like freeing in a way, I would imagine.
Yes, yes, and also it gives you a perspective. Like now, every time I sit in a plane, or every time I go to a hotel, I'm like, how much do you think he paid? How much
Yeah,
do you think
same.
he paid? Like I'm here for free, and I'm sitting next to you that you probably paid. I don't know how much. you know,
Yeah.
it's pretty cool if you think about it, and also it tells you. that we have an open market, so you need to do research about everything. It goes back to watches. It goes back to everything.
Hmm.
So she had standards. A bunch of Latinos here. He says, Caesar, I had my Puerto Rican, and she was too tough to handle, my friend. So I don't
Oh.
know. She's they're special kinds. Okay.
Oh no, Joe Barretto just went like somewhere out in the world. Oh no, and then obviously Cesar. Oh Lord,
Yeah.
that's so
Yeah.
funny. Hey, listen, he wanted to ask you too, Cesar. He wanted to know, are you going to be doing the next creator meetup in 2025 in Puerto Rico?
You know, I don't even know when this happened. I don't know. So when is that?
Oh, he said 2025. It's not necessarily definitely going to happen, but he's pushing for it. I think it might be a thing that happens. So next year. Uh, Although he
I
does
mean,
want to ask you, there is going to be another one in New Orleans,
when?
Labor Day, so September.
Oh,
Bunch of people. So yeah, he asked if you're going.
are you going?
I still don't. I don't know. I still don't
Come
know.
on, come on. You have a channel that I saw you did a lot of effort, man. Your channel doubled since the last time we talked.
I don't know.
So
Just a
you're
lot
doing
of
great.
shorts. A lot of shorts. I don't know. I just. I.
Okay,
To be honest,
here's a
I
question
might.
for you.
Yeah.
Do you do the shorts on this channel or you have a separate channel?
This channel. Yeah. Put everything in here.
And it doesn't take away from views on your regular channel, on your regular videos?
No, because I think what people see is, and why so many I know what you're talking about. There's so many of those people out there that mention that is because they see that their subscriber base grows. Maybe they get 1,000 subscribers, and it's all from shorts. And they're like, "Well, wait, why aren't they watching my long form?" So it's like you have to just subtract whatever shorts subscribers there are, and realize that's not going to reflect on your videos. So I think I have like 800 from shorts, and I'm like, okay, so my real subscriber count is like 35, 3,400, something like that, minus the shorts. So then, and
Mm,
if like the video does around 3K, then cool. But I think
yeah,
that's how people should probably look at it. I think that's
yeah.
that's the myth that people have. It's like, oh, you do shorts, you ruin your algorithm. But I haven't. I've only seen actually benefits to putting shorts out. It's a lot more eyeballs on you, and you become more familiar.
Okay.
You know,
Well, Caesar says that 2025 PR meeting
it's
is going
going
to
to
happen.
happen. Well,
Okay.
yeah. If
If it
Cesar says it's going
does,
to
if
happen,
it
it's going
does,
to.
last time I was in Puerto Rico, Maria hit the hurricane,
Oh. Hmm.
and I was in San Juan, and dude, that was scary. Like I remember that beautiful island; it was all green when I went, and when I left, everything was muddy. That hurricane devastated everything. There was no green leaf left. All the trees were down. Like it was a disaster. I was there, and I was stuck there for almost a week, over a week, 8 days, 8 days before I managed to get out. Terrible. So my memories
Jeez,
from Puerto Rico are a little tough. Like the first time I went, this happened. What the fuck?
that's
Oh my god.
horrible.
Yeah.
God, it seems,
Yeah.
yeah. Jeez. Yeah, that definitely scares me about there, and I mean, obviously, like Florida, even though it's maybe not as common, but
Yeah.
jeez. Ugh. I also want to mention on your point about like, oh, how much did you pay for your hotel stay or your flight? Fog actually said, he said, stand up on the plane and excuse me, everyone, how many of you folks flying today free on points? And then yeah, John says you also have to wonder how many people are in this points and miles game but aren't hanging out in Discords and YouTube, but are just out and about. That's funny. Yeah, I
Yeah.
wonder. I think I keep saying it. People are probably annoyed, but when we went to Vegas, like, and I was hanging out with CJ, and we were in his Conrad, I literally was looking at all these people like these look like high net worth individuals, and I'm like a little schlup walking around. It's pretty wild, what you're able to do in this game for sure.
Yeah. No, I can fake it. I can fake it. I have the clothes to fake it. Don't worry. I mean, I can fake it until I make it. Everywhere I go, people think I have money. I don't. I
You look
am
like
an
it, yeah.
average dude. Okay, but I'm listen. I'm middle class. 100% middle class. No more, no less. I'm middle class. I'm good.
Hmm.
But Yeah, when I go out with people, I guess it's from back in the day where I did have money. Back in Greece, I see. I'm one of these people that left not because of money issues. It was because there was a call for me. I wanted to come to the U.S. always.
Hmm.
Like I was a kid, and I would see the American flag on movies, and I would get the goosebumps. It's very rare. Like I talk to people, they say you're crazy or whatever. I had goosebumps. I'm
Yeah.
like, ah, us Americans, us Americans. So for me, coming here, it was like a dream. It had nothing to do with money or anything. Back in the day in Greece, like I had very decent amount. Like my family was very well off, still is, but it used to be even better. So I think I still have that. How do you call it? That the air. How do you call it? The come on, help me here. The
uh,
I don't find the word, but
Air's a good word.
there is a good word. I know, but I can't say it. Um, yeah,
Hmm.
that's the thing. Like I always felt that I owned the
Hmm.
place. I was going places, and I'm like,
Hmm.
even in my company, I talk to the CEO like we do. It's like, hey, how you doing? You're like, good. How are you? I'm like, yeah, good. You're looking good. I'm telling him like, look at your shoes. They're amazing.
Yeah.
Because I know these things too. I'm like, oh, they're this model from that brand, and
Hmm.
yeah, how do you know? I'm like,
Huh.
you know.
Chad said mindset for a word, maybe. Um, but did you so do you almost view every because I don't know how it is in Greek culture, but there's a lot of other cultures out there that would mention like, having some sort of respect or deference to your elders. But I almost feel like that in some ways that's a green light for people to just be nasty, and that's okay. At least I've seen that and where I'm from. But did you almost feel like when you're in any situation that you're on the same level as everybody else, or you ever feel like you're below anybody or above? Like you said, your CEO you talk to as if you're both CEOs or something like that.
No, no, no. That has nothing to do with how I see people. That
Hmm.
has only to do with how I feel about myself.
Yeah.
I'm not just because I feel good about myself doesn't mean I see somebody above or below.
Hmm.
I feel good and secure about who I am and what I do. But other than that, I don't see. I talk to the same way I talk to the cleaning ladies at our building. I talk to the CEO. Like, hi, good
Yeah.
morning. How are you? How are you doing? Oh, look, you're looking good, or this or that. That's just how I talk.
Yeah.
Like if you see my videos, I always talk like I would talk to you, like I'm talking now to you. That's how I
Yeah.
talk. Nothing changes, and that's all. I don't have that star strikes. People see
Hmm.
people that oh, it's him.
It's yeah.
Let's try to fix ourselves and look good or whatever. Or don't
Right.
say that in front of them. I don't give a
Hmm.
shit. I'm trying to be respectful, but the same way I would try to be respectful for everybody, I will be for the CEO, whatever. For me, that doesn't matter.
Hmm.
That's all. That's all I'm saying.
Interesting.
And it probably comes because from my background, because I didn't have to think this way. And in Greece, in
Hmm.
general, people are very they're defying authority,
Hmm.
if that makes sense. Like
Really?
they're very the first one of the first things that you learn as a Greek kid is to say no.
Hmm.
People say do this and you say no, and then you say why. Why do you want me to do this? And they have
Hmm.
to give you an explanation. It's cultural, like to the point where it took me a lot of effort. First of all, to stop moving my hands a lot, like in an office environment. I used to talk like with the hands a lot,
Yeah.
and said that looks aggressive. Can you tone it down a little bit? So I tried to be like,
It's
okay, let's.
aggressive.
And the same thing goes with the language. Typically, I'm very vulgar, but I'm trying to fix that. And also the look and the mindset of saying no and looking people serious like this, because
Hmm.
people think you're upset. I
Yeah.
didn't know, but it looks very. I see my mom now that she's fresh off the boat here. She
Yeah.
came like on vacation, and I'm like, is she upset? I forgot how it is
Mm.
myself. She looks upset all the time, but it's that Greek face at the you know.
The grief. So do you think that that mindset that is learned in Greece to say no or defy authority leads you guys to maybe if you come to America, you end up in better positions because you're just that much more maybe disagreeable in a way?
It could be because everybody that I met here of Greek origin, they are basically all successful. I'm one of the lowest class people.
Oh my god.
Yes, like they all have businesses. Like there's from restaurants to a lawyer office to whatever you want to say. Like they are everywhere in politics.
Hmm.
There's a bunch of us in Congress that you might not be aware of, but there are.
Hmm.
And it's crazy to see how many people make it here. And it might have to do with that because we don't take no for an answer. You will say no, okay, I'll go to the next.
Hmm.
You know? Yeah.
Actually, Fogg said to the Greeks, hero is someone who cares. Hmm. Interesting. So I always wonder because over the years over the years when I was a driving teacher in New York, I got to meet all different cultures and whatnot, and overwhelmingly one of the most common themes was that all the people I drove with from other countries, more specifically like European countries, um, they did very well, yeah, in business or like own restaurants. There's a lot of Greek people own restaurants in Staten Island, and whatnot. And I remember Joey Diaz, comedian on Joe Rogan. He always talks about the immigrant mentality. So it's someone who maybe came from less in another country with hopes to go to America, and then they just absolutely dominate.
Uh-huh.
Um, and I always wonder what that comes from. Whether it's, I mean, obviously culture, but where does that stem from? Like, is there history in Greece that would lead people to like defy authority that I'm just unaware of, or
Yes.
some of these other places?
Yes. Well, it starts from antiquity. You can go all the way back to the 300 movie, the
Really?
movie 300,
Yeah.
where they defy a whole superpower of the time to
Hmm.
World War II, Greece against Italy. I mean, most people think Germany only did, but Italy was part of the Axis
Hmm.
forces, and they invaded Greece, and they said they late at night they went to the prime minister. They say, "You surrender or we invade.
Hmm.
It's either that or war."
Yeah.
And the prime minister says, "I guess we have war then." And 2 hours later, they invaded. So, and
Jeez.
yeah, so and in Greece they celebrate the beginning of a struggle. So we have two
Hmm.
great celebration, national celebration. One is the beginning of the revolution against the Turks, the Ottoman
Mhm.
Turks,
Mm.
and then the beginning of the war with Italy on World War II.
Hmm.
Not the end. All the countries celebrate the end of a
Yeah.
war. We celebrate the beginning.
Huh.
So there is that mentality. So it goes to it's psychological, and also we have a funny idea that everything comes from our country, even though that's not true. Very well aware of that. Uh, but, but unfortunately, somehow everything is connected.
Yeah.
Or fortunately, and yeah, you end up feeling okay. I'm not. Somebody that comes from somewhere, and it's good to have the roots. That's
Mm.
why I'm very happy when I talk to Americans here, and they tell me, you know what, I am Mexican American, I
Mm.
am Irish American, I am German American. It's good that you know where you're coming from, and I love when they try to speak maybe another language, and maybe go back to that because many people don't, and I think it's
Mm.
important, even for the brain. If you don't want to do it for work or anything else, do it for your own like IQ if you want, uh, because you're thinking in different ways.
Mm.
Different words have different meanings. To say the same thing in different languages, there's many different angles. You know, not every language describes the same issue the same way. So when you
Hmm.
learn, let's say Spanish, when you speak Greek, when you speak English, you have three ways of thinking that thing. And when somebody says something about that thing, you know what they mean because it's probably not the same if you
Hmm.
translate directly to your native language.
Yeah.
It's amazing that I think everybody should learn a second language at very minimum.
Hmm.
My daughter speaks Greek fluently.
Oh, nice.
Yes. And I'm the only Greek here, right? I don't have family here. It's only me.
Mm.
So yeah.
Huh. So have you did that. There's so many people. I mean, at least in Chinese culture, we call well, in Chinese Americans, we call them ABCs, American born Chinese. Usually they don't end up speaking Chinese at all, just from their parents, whether it's Cantonese Mandarin. But are you so from like day one, you were speaking Greek to your daughter as soon as
And
she
the
was
same
born?
thing I do with my son. Yes,
Ah. So no English at all. You just figure in school they're gonna learn it all.
I speak English with my wife. That's the
Yeah.
thing. Like with my wife, we speak English.
Hmm.
So he will learn that.
Yeah.
We're at home, we speak English, but to him, I speak Greek. To him, she speaks Spanish. Between the two of us, we speak English with every line. Sometimes it's
Wow.
confusing. You go like
Yeah.
back and forth, and I'm like, I'm freaking out, but it's good.
Yeah. That's
Trains your brain.
that's that's very interesting. Yeah. That was a thought that we had, uh if you were gonna have kids or one that's like only speak one language. But I guess it's hard if you and the other person do not speak the same. Like if you're trying to teach them Spanish, it's hard for you to well, I mean, how is your Spanish actually? You study it, I think.
I I can get my way. I can order everything I want. If there's many things I don't know, but I can ask you in Spanish what you mean and everything, and you can explain me in Spanish, and I will get it.
Oh,
So I can
that's good.
completely function. I can have very intelligent conversations because I speak like a 2-year-old.
Okay.
As most people, I understand more than I speak, but I do speak a good
Mhm.
amount. A good amount.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Interesting.
And learning
Um,
every day.
that's great. That's awesome. Is there going to be a time where if you become well, is there going to be a time where you only speak Spanish with your wife for a little bit just to get them the experience, your kids?
I mean, I do that when her family comes here.
Oh, okay, sure, yeah.
When her family visits, I do that. Yeah, yeah.
Gotcha.
What can I
Um,
say?
I love it. I think it's great. Wait, again, to my New York driving instructor days, I would make sure that I learned a few words in every language of the person that came in my car. So,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of African countries and a lot of Asian
Oh,
countries, and some people in Egypt and everything. Every type of person came in. Although no Greeks though, no Greeks wanted to learn how to drive. They're probably paying for it, but they're probably paying for the license. But for some reason, I didn't drive with them.
yeah, could be. Uh, what can I say? Bride is what we do. Can I show this one more time to
Of
people?
course, man. I want to.
Can I show this one more time?
He
Look at that.
shot, and
Look
for
at
people who weren't here earlier, he shot all of
Oh,
his car.
baby, look at this.
Jesus, that's a thumbnail right there. Did you make a video on it yet? You just made some
I
TikTok I
did, I
saw.
did, but you know what? I didn't record everything as I wanted to because
Uh,
like after they were hit, they were flying.
mm,
They were flying off the tree I was
bang.
putting them, and yeah, and didn't come up as good as I thought it would be. But
God, that would be a great
that
thumbnail
was
though. Just
yeah,
and damn, wait,
yeah.
Lonnie speaks English, Swahili, Spanish, sign language, some French, and learning Portuguese. Wow, I knew
Show off,
Lenny was a
show off.
super. he
That's
was he was
amazing. That's
he's wild.
amazing.
He's what
That's amazing.
he's a very smart guy.
That's amazing.
I'm forgetting where Swahili is. That language is spoken. I'm forgetting now where they speak that. I don't know why.
Swahili.
Is it Somalia? I'm forgetting.
Oh
Oh, God.
no, I don't know.
Huh. Hey, Chad asked. Yeah,
Wow, I think everybody's impressed. I
hey,
mean, I'm impressed. The
I
heck?
got. Oh, it's Kenyan. Oh, Swahili's Kenyan. Really?
Mm.
Couldn't remember where that was. Yeah, yeah.
I wish I could use my phone to Google it.
I know. I know. No, oops.
Mm.
Oh, I got a little sign language. I think from my 1 year of college. What is it? It was like, hello, my name is, and I'm not gonna sign my name because I don't. I don't remember.
Oh,
But
oh,
I have a little
oh!
bit of that.
I know
That's funny.
this.
Oh,
I
that's a
know.
great one.
I know. Like basics.
Well, I mean, the Italians, right? You got some stuff like that.
Oh,
So-
this? No.
yes. Oh Lord,
We're
we have
Italians
one of
are
these.
the Italians are like first cousins to us. It's very funny how close we are. I used to work with an Italian lady and an Argentinian gentleman here, my previous job. And with the Italian, we were like so many things similar. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Hmm.
And when you're in Europe, you're always thinking, oh, we are very far. Oh, you're Italian, I'm Greek. you come here and all of a sudden you realize how big the world is and how close you guys are. Like,
Mm, yeah.
you know, because comparing to somebody from China, for example, or Japan,
Yeah.
you see an Italian that's like next door to you, and you dress similar,
Mhm.
and you look similar, and you act similar, and you eat similar. It's very very strange feeling. I remember I'm like, we're that close. I didn't realize. you know.
That was one of the first things I mentioned when I first met you. I was like, looking at your name, I was like, yeah, he's Greek. But when I met you, I was like, man, he really seems like an Italian guy, like from back home and everything. So
From
it's
what? From what? Why do you say that?
just from the way you look, like your facial structure, your facial hair, your the way you speak, even like you're very.
You know what they
You
say?
seem
The
like
Italians
family.
say that. The
What?
Italians say that. They say una fazza, una razza.
One face is what?
One face, one race.
Oh, one face, one.
But they say it for Greeks. Like, they say una fazza, una
uh,
razza.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Wow. I didn't
yeah.
know that. Yeah, it just yeah, you seem like it to me. Usually, like my family is Italian, right? For most of them. Anytime I meet someone who's just from Italy, I again from the driving teacher, they felt like family immediately. And when I met you like 7 months ago, when we
Yeah.
just jumped on it, the same feeling. I was like,
Cousin,
we're in
cousin,
sync.
cousin,
Yeah, right.
cousin. We talk like that. That's why I'm telling you. I went to the office and I was talking like this.
It was
And then when
aggressive.
I'm
Yeah.
upset, I was moving my hands like this.
All right. Yeah.
So they were like, hey, can you tone this down a little bit? Because it looks very aggressive. I'm like,
Yeah. I'm scared people. Yeah. It's so funny that that's a thing. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, it's
Schools
why
too. I
he
think they
moves his
did that.
hands.
What?
It's why he
Oh,
moves
the
his
way he moves
hands.
his hands. Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah.
Learned sign language as a kid. John said. Phil Mo's down for Puerto Rico 2025. Um,
Yeah.
that's funny. Huh. I wanted to ask you too.
Do you like God or devil?
Oh
What kind
God,
of question
that's
is that?
that's that's one of the people from the outside. Do you like God or devil? I don't know,
Well,
man.
God.
Obviously, I
God.
mean, I won't even joke. That's just that is too much. I also want to know. Actually, Cesar won. He asked me personally to ask you a question. Cesar, you're a good friend. He wanted me to ask you on the podcast live in the flesh. He wanted to ask. He said, "Konstantinos, are you cute or are you handsome?"
He asked you to ask me that?
Yes. Yeah, he wanted to know. He's very curious. Wanted to get your thoughts.
Guapo.
What is that? Oh no.
Ask him to tell you. Guapo.
All right, I'll text him.
Tell him he's guapo.
Well,
If
okay.
Caesar should know, he speaks Spanish.
Yes, guapo. That's ridiculous. Well, one thing that I'll let you know is Caesar has this. Good answer. Caesar has this thing, and he's been having me ask a lot of people, but you specifically. But he has this thing. Basically, if you are over 6 feet tall, you are handsome. If you're under 6 feet tall, you're cute.
I'm cute.
Really?
I'm 5'10".
Oh wow, we're about the same. Okay, yeah.
I'm
So,
5'10". Yeah.
oh,
Yeah. I could lie and say I'm 6, but I'm afraid that one day people will see me and will say, hell no. let me measure you. I'm 5'10". Exactly.
yeah. Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah.
See there, he's laughing. That's funny.
He's laughing. I see it. I see it. Caesar.
It's funny how you can just go by your license too. Like I remember changing my license here in South Carolina. It's all like on a written thing. Like they don't
I
measure
know.
anything. I was like, I'm
Yeah.
gonna put myself at 6'7" and 500 pounds, and let's see what happens. And it would have been fine, but I ended up not doing it because I was like, let me not get in bad terms with South Carolina as soon as I get here. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, they knew
No.
it was coming. Handsome,
No.
six. What's up?
I'm cute. What can I say? I'm
Okay.
5'10". I wish I was 6, but I'm not. Well, that's the thing also, that the the measuring here is messing up people, because in Europe, if
Hmm.
you like to be tall, you're 180 centimeters, 1 meter and 80 centimeters, right? And
Yeah.
that's tall. That translates really to just under 5'11".
Hmm.
Okay,
Yeah. Hmm.
but and like 180 is the standard. Like you say 180, that means you're good.
Yeah.
178, I'm just under. I'm like, ah.
Ugh.
Here, it's like feet. So you go like from 1 foot to the next, like 1 inch to the next, it's 2.5 centimeters. Okay, so the difference between 2 inches is this, 2 centimeters is this.
Uh,
So it's very easy to fake it, to be like, oh, I'm 180. If you're
oh, I see.
178 like me, I can say
That's
I'm
right.
180 because it's this much,
That's true.
you know.
That is
But
true.
yeah,
So that's true because I'm 100. I just remembered. I remembered in school for some reason. Actually, in school, I think they measured on there. It's like both, but it said 179 centimeters. So
yeah,
I'm 1 inch away from being the standard. So I could lie. I could tell people 180.
yeah. I mean, you're good, man. 179. That's good.
It's not bad, I guess. What about weight? Is there a thing with weight between the two? Like, do people fake that?
Guys always fake it to make it more. Like
Really?
guys like to be
Hmm.
heavy, like to say, "Oh, I
Yeah.
have muscles."
That's
Yeah,
right. That's right. I'm 220. I'm 220 and stacked. That's right.
yeah. No, I'm
That's
220,
funny.
but I'm not stacked. I have a
Oh
bunch
my
of
god.
belly fat here.
No. Oh lord.
You know.
Size matters. Fog says 5'7", so very cute, and size matter. Yeah, Cesar, we need like an updated chart because eventually we're gonna run into some people who are like 4 foot something, or 7 foot something, like Spencer Johnson is 7 foot. Like, what do you call that? Are they just extra handsome? I feel like there should be another name for all of that.
Caesar is a case.
I'm very handsome. Chad
I'm
is on
193, almost
193.
2 meters.
Yeah, he's crazy.
We don't care, Chad, if you're 193.
we
Who cares, man?
don't care.
Who cares? 193. Nobody's
Hey,
jealous.
hey, man. If
Nobody's
you go,
jealous, okay? Nobody's jealous. Chad,
scream.
193,
If
almost
if
two
you
meters.
if you go to the New Orleans meetup, you're gonna have to say that to his face, man. He's gonna be like, up here.
Nobody cares, okay? Nobody's jealous of you.
Yeah, buddy.
Take your height and leave.
Yeah. Ridiculous. Oh, that's right. Yeah. That would be
Yeah.
funny. I met when we met up in Vegas, it was like that. He's yeah, he's kind of gigantic.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Oh, you did meet.
Yeah.
So you went in one of these meetings before then?
Yeah, last Labor Day, there was a Vegas thing. Where were you, man? Open
Nobody told
invitation.
me. Nobody gave me the memo. Like, I'm
Luke
only
was
five
posting
hours
about
away.
it like crazy. He was all over the place. That's how we know you were too busy for us. Okay, that's how we know. 426. Uh, oh, interesting. Okay, I didn't see.
uh,
Okay, it gets deeper. So the thing is, to be cute, you have to be below 6 foot, but it is visually appealing. Hmm.
am I cute?
I think everyone agrees that you are. Yes.
Oh my god, 400 pounds before June 2020. Now I'm 290. Oh wow, that's a big difference.
John's
Trying to
doing
grow more.
well. He's killing
That's
it for
amazing.
sure. If you're over 6 feet, you're handsome regardless, but it's not that visually appealing, I guess. So crazy. um,
Caesar.
that is so funny. Actually, oh no, we answered that. Okay, cool. Um, I also wanted to ask you too, uh, amidst this ridiculous conversation. I also want to ask, when did you? Because I'm just unfamiliar. When did you like decide to start putting all this stuff on YouTube? Like, how did that kind of
What do
happen?
you mean all this stuff?
Like credit cards and talking about all this.
Man, it was during the pandemic.
Oh,
Yeah, the problem is this, and maybe this is why I'm not as advanced as I should be after all this time, because it's been almost 3 years now that I'm doing this. I
yeah.
started with my MBA. So I
Hmm.
started my MBA during the pandemic and a
Yeah.
YouTube channel. So somehow I failed to recognize the needs of an MBA. So I started my master's the same time I did with the channel. So I didn't have much time to study or do the YouTube. So I had to choose one over the other. And sometimes I would choose the channel. I would lack on my studies. Then I would accelerate on my studies, and then like relax on YouTube. And But it was during the pandemic. That's when I said, you know what? I think I know enough to share.
Hmm.
And also, like, part also was the things I was learning with the MBA and how to see things a little differently. So, like, again, as you see, my presentations, they're not, this is the credit card and pops up, which is great. People love that. I see channels that do that and they get thousands and thousands of subscribers.
Hmm.
That's amazing. What I do, you would consider it a little more boring on at first if you just see it, because I have the PowerPoint there and I'm talking.
Yes.
But I think it's important because it shows you very clearly how a credit card stands for the first year, second year,
Hmm.
maybe versus its older version. I did that with the Hilton Aspire, for example,
Hmm.
or how it stands against the competition. So
Hmm.
it's one thing to say this credit card is great, but it's great based on what? Against who? Its older self? Its peers? You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm doing. So I'm trying to have a very spherical view of the credit cards, and I think I that idea came from my studies, but the idea for the channel came from everything that I knew because I really was traveling all that time, especially during the pandemic when everybody was staying home. I was out in airports and I was enjoying it.
Hmm.
They were empty. The planes were empty, and I was like
Yeah.
out there killing it.
Hmm.
The kind of deals I was getting during the pandemic, I'll be telling stories to my grandkids one day. Like calling last minute for hotels, $50 with breakfast. Last minute, sunset. Do you have a hotel? You have a room? Yes. How much? 60. No, the other guy gave us 50. Can you do 50? Yes. And we would get a
Wow.
better hotel this way.
Wow.
Like, yeah,
Huh. Pretty
yeah, yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
And then so you decided to put that all on there, and it's just yeah. You've been I've seen a lot of comments, and you've been referred to as the king of credit card comparisons. you
Really?
yeah. I've seen a bunch of people mention that, and I think it's true. I think you've probably done more comparisons than anybody else. It seems like you really do. Yeah, not just first year, second year value, but literally what is the best card based on whoever's watching the situation.
Right. And now the other thing I'm introducing lately in the videos is
Hmm.
what's my use case scenario? Because I used to do what's the best case scenario. Like for the platinum, for example, I
Hmm.
would say, oh, it offers Uber Eats, it offers um I don't know, credits for this, credits for that, the gym credit, this credit, that credit, and then I said, what am I using?
Hmm.
So here's what it can offer. This is what's for me, and what's probably for you. Because if you're realistic, you're probably doing the same thing I'm doing. You're
Yeah.
probably like everybody's complaining about the gym credit, for example, right? Um, I have those gyms here, like 10 minutes from where I live.
Oh, you got Equinox? Huh.
Yes, 10
Hmm.
minutes. 10 minutes from where I live. I don't want to go. I have gym in my apartment building.
Nice.
I don't need
Hmm.
to go. So I'm not using it. So exit out.
Hmm.
Uber Eats. Yes, I'm using it. Asterisk. Because I'm using it only because I don't want to lose it. I wouldn't really
Yeah.
order Uber Eats. I'm only doing it because I don't want to lose the credit.
Yeah. Hmm.
Like I'm doing these calculations now. I'm trying to show what's a more realistic scenario. I'm still showing what's the possibility, but I want to know what's the real value for somebody like me, you
Definitely.
know? Yeah. So I think it's important because you have the opportunity cost is how it's called when you get into one credit card, but you're missing out on something else. So
Yeah.
there's an opportunity cost there.
Hmm.
Like if you are at 424 and you're gonna go to 524, do you want to get the personal Hilton or you want to get the business Hilton? The business, sorry, Hyatt
Hmm.
or IHG. you know. So you want to go for the business because then you still have that slot open to get even a second IHG or another credit card that's personal.
Yeah.
So what's the opportunity cost? What's the strategy? How does this compare with something else or with itself the second year, every year after? I think these are very important questions because we all talk about one thing and we get excited. Oh, 90,000 points on the gold right now. Okay. How does your second year look?
Mm,
You know,
yeah.
these are the questions I'm trying to answer.
Yeah, I'm really, especially given that situation, I'm excited to see what changes there'll be, for sure. Um, oh, I wanted to mention. Oh, I also wanted to mention because this was funny. Fogg said earlier during the pandemic he felt so unchallenged because everything was shut down. He just, just so unchallenged. He said, "I learned to ride a 26-inch unicycle." That's crazy, Fogg. Who the hell does that?
Well,
A unis. That's great.
let me tell you, this is why I started my MBA, tried to keep my sanity. I started the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Um, he learned how to ride a unicycle, but listen,
It's,
you had
it's
to do something, man.
something.
Those
Yeah.
days, there's a gap. How many times do you talk about something that happened during the pandemic and you can't really place it
Yeah.
chronologically? Like, when did
Yep.
that happen? I know
Yeah.
it happened, but when?
Hmm.
Everything is mixed, like crazy.
I literally during the pandemic, all I did was sign up for American Express cards since everybody was like ordering from like Grubhub and stuff, and I was just letting them use my card for everything, and just hitting a lot of welcome offers and just racking up a lot of Amex points. The ones that I still have today just all came
Yeah,
from pandemic spend, and also all I did was friggin' uh, learn the stock market. Every day, that's all I did was I was just so heavy into it, and I learned everything about it. Not everything, obviously, but everything that everyone should know, probably beginner level stuff, all during those however long, a year or 6 months to a year lockdown in New York,
yeah,
at least. It was, yeah,
yeah,
it's true.
yeah.
Um, yeah, and Lonnie X, this may have been answered already, but how long were you traveling before getting into travel rewards? So you talked about that Mexico trip, like Fogg mentioned. Was there any other travels prior to Mexico that you were doing that was all on cash before getting into the game?
Hmm. Well, before I was living in Greece and I was traveling to London all the time, I was coming here to the US for many years for vacation. And at that time, I was also traveling within the US. Like, I was 2005, I came here in New York.
Hmm.
2008, I came here, and then we did road trips to Miami, to Atlanta, like road trips, all the way down to Key West.
Hmm.
Uh,
Wow.
um, yeah, that was good. That's when I went to Miami. That's what the
All right.
Mamacita's. But that was with yeah. Um, 2010, I came here. I went to Vegas, San Francisco, New
Hmm.
York. Like, I was traveling a lot, but I couldn't get the credit cards because I wasn't a permanent resident here.
Oh. Hmm.
Then I was traveling within Europe, but when I stayed here is when I realized that okay, this can happen, but I didn't know how. I didn't pay
Hmm.
attention at first because okay, I was paying cash and that was okay.
Yeah.
But when I met my wife and I needed to go to Costa Rica or Mexico, whatever, that's when I said, okay, I need to do this um, better way. So
Yeah.
I want to say from the moment that I moved here to the point where I start getting into the credit card game was 3 years. So for three
Hmm.
years, I was wasting money like nothing. Um, my first credit card was the Capital One Silver,
Quicksilver.
Quicksilver.
Hmm.
1.5 on everything and
Hmm.
$35 annual fee. And then
Oh
I
no.
remember, dude, let me tell you.
Oh
And then 2 years in, right? 2 years in, I call them. I say, hey, I know there's a no annual fee version of this. Can I get it? And they say, no, we
no.
can't. We can't product change you. I
Oof.
try again later. 2 months later,
Try to get
two
laid.
2 months later, I
Yeah.
call them. I say, can I product change? They say no. I say that's it. Cancel it. And they said, okay, and they canceled it. just like that.
Yeah.
That's why I'm a little bitter with Capital One. My experience was not good, customer service wise.
Yeah.
So I'm not crazy about them, and they are local here. Capital One.
Yeah.
They
Yeah, they're all
are
over.
in Virginia. They're
Mhm.
right here, the headquarters.
Mhm. Yep.
So even though they're local, I'm not crazy about them. Same thing with Wells Fargo. I was a little bitter with them because they are very hard. Like they want you to spend a lot with them, and
Hmm.
um, if they wouldn't approve me for certain credit cards, I was like, why so difficult? I
Hmm.
guess it was also my income at the beginning. It wasn't that much, um, and credit history.
Yeah.
That it took me a while to build a good credit. Like right
Hmm.
now, even with everything, all the credit cards I'm adding, and my credit history suffers because of it. Because the more you open, the worse it gets.
Hmm.
It dilutes your credit history.
Hmm.
Every time you open a new credit card, now you
Yeah.
have something new.
True.
It dilutes the. I'm still no less than 770
Nice.
in
Hmm.
the bad day. Like it's always up there, close to 800. I've seen over 800, but I keep opening, man. Like who cares? Give me more.
Yeah. We're at this point in
Yeah,
our game, we're just kind of getting in it for the free vacation. Well,
yeah.
mostly free vacations. Yeah, that's what I always kind of come back to as far as like you mentioned, like customer service, and why I continue to stick by Amex because I had a few situations, like three in the last couple of weeks. These things happen with the Amex customer service, and I'm like, I gotta stick with them, man. They're so good. Like Valentine's Day, I'm about to make a video on it. I'll
100%
right? Uh,
customer service.
there's a Resi restaurant that was completely booked up, absolutely booked up. You couldn't even go on Resi, you couldn't call them. It was just completely booked for Valentine's Day. I was a little late to the game. I waited till like literally like, a few days before. It's like Friday. It was like Friday, and then it was Wednesday was Valentine's Day. This past one, and I called them up, and they were like, "Oh, we can't do anything, but I'm gonna personally keep calling." Until we can, get this done for you. Hopefully, we can't guarantee whatever. So I don't really hear much over the weekend, and then we get to Tuesday, which is the day before Valentine's Day. I had a backup plan just in case, but I was really holding out for this. It has a James Beard Award. It was like a really high level restaurant out here in Greenville. And then all of a sudden I check my email. It's like, oh, your reservation's confirmed 9 p.m. for this restaurant. And then Amex concierge calls me like a half hour later, like, yeah, we got it booked for you. Does 9 p.m. work or do you want a different time? I was like, no way you booked that. I was like, no freaking way.
That's amazing.
It's a small place. It's like really high level stuff. They got awards and stuff, and they were able to get it done for me. And I was just like over the moon.
No,
I was
no,
like,
customer service. It's
ah,
second to none. 100%. First of all, every time I called for my platinum,
hmm.
I wouldn't wait more than a minute, maybe two if it was a bad day.
Yeah.
A bad day, 2 minutes.
Hmm.
Anything I would ask immediately. Like I have to say that, like customer service, second to none, and big difference too. Like big difference.
Yeah.
I love Chase customer service. It's not even close though.
No.
Like American Express is the best by far, and that's the only way. Why I'm getting so frustrated. I'm like, why can't you fix your credit
I
cards
know.
so I can come to you and enjoy? Because I enjoy you.
Mhm.
Let me enjoy you. I'm loving your products. I used to love all these credit cards, and now I'm shooting them.
No,
Look at this. Look at this.
no shooting them.
So cute.
Oh no, that's so sad.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, that's
yeah.
so funny. Wait, Chombe said, "Good afternoon, gentlemen. I benefited your videos, both of you. For that, thank you, Chombe, for
Oh,
being here."
thank you. Okay,
Um,
hold on. Follow what your channel just mentioned. What's your favorite country? Okay. Aha. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna answer this one. Call me Lani. Okay, Lani. With all the travels, which my favorite? Okay, favorite. It's biased. I'm sorry. It's biased. It has to be in Europe. USA don't count. You said no, don't say USA, so I'm not gonna say.
mhm.
It has to be Europe because Europe has in such a small space. Like if you think it's like the continental US, the whole continent of Europe, it's like the continental US. It's not that big.
Hmm.
So it's like the 48 states
Yeah.
here. Um, you can change borders like nothing, and you have a different language, different cuisine, different ideas, different cultures, different everything. Okay, mostly Christianity, but even different sides of Christianity. We have the Orthodox towards east. You have the Catholics towards west. The Protestants up north. The Anglo Saxons. So it depends where you go. It's everything very different. My favorite country, though, is the country I used to live, and that's the UK.
Hmm.
For those that don't know, I have 2 degrees from Nottingham Trent University, so it's in England. Um, like the one I did in person, the second I did online here. And I used to live in London, and I
Wow.
used to live in a very nice and fancy area called Knightsbridge in London. The office was in Knightsbridge. It was literally 2 to 3 minutes walk from Harrods. Harrods is one of the most fancy malls you will ever see. That's the first time I saw a $300,000 watch in front of me.
Wow.
Back then, that's 10 years ago, 11 years ago.
Hmm.
Um, and I was having a blast. I was having a blast. I was working 5 minutes from where I was living, and yeah, the nice dressed people in that area, uh, lots of money. I wasn't obviously with money, but I had friends that had money, so sometimes you benefit from that.
Of course.
uh, I was working in my field doing some amazing projects.
Hmm.
um, um, we were doing some really fancy apartment buildings, and like really fancy details, like to the point where we asked this lady, it was a Turkish lady, lots of money. She got a nice townhome as a gift from her husband.
Hmm.
12 million British pounds back then. And a townhome. We asked her, what's the budget? She says, I have no budget. I want the best.
Jeez.
And you think you know what's the best until they tell you there's no budget. And you realize that there's gold plated faucets that cost
Hmm.
$30,000. Uh,
Jeez.
tubs made out of bronze that
Wow.
cost 20, $30,000. Like with a faucet and the tub itself, you're looking at $60,000. Oh my god, man! It
Jeez.
was amazing time. I had a blast. The Brits have that sense of humor that's a little. They have that phlegm that's a little, it's a little dry, their sense of humor, but they have a straight face. They can tell you everything, and they can be the biggest BS you ever heard, and they keep a straight face while they tell you, so you don't know if they're joking or if they're for real. It's, uh, but
Jesus.
yeah, but it was amazing. Yeah, I want to say the UK is incredible, and the architecture, all those years of colonial money that they got, they used it for architecture. It's beautiful, beautiful. London is amazing.
Wow. And actually,
Yeah,
Chad mentioned Harrods. Harrods is awesome. I took my wife there, and she wanted lunch at the Tiffany Blue Box Cafe.
yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah,
That's pretty cool. So
yeah.
if you would you move back there? You think like, or do you
No,
prefer?
I can't. I can't. First of all, they're out of the EU now. I have a Greek passport,
Hmm.
and at the
Hmm.
time when they were in the European Union, that made me eligible to just move and act like normal, like back home, right?
Hmm.
Now I can't. They're out
Uh,
of the European Union. So that would take
wow.
me migration and all this kind of things that I would never consider myself putting through again because I did it here.
Uh,
I had
yeah.
to, when I came here, I had to do a driver's license. I had to like have a social security number, all things that I did when I was 18. I had to redo here.
Oh, jeez.
Um, and it was very, very tough to do all that and complicated, and it took time. So by the time you're set up in a country and you do all that, I became a U.S. citizen. Um, it took years, so I wouldn't bother to do something like that. If they ever join the EU and I'm at a different stage in my life, maybe. But right now, no. It was great when I was there, though. I loved it.
Hmm.
And the Brits are really nice people. I really enjoy them.
Hmm.
They just tell you how it is. You know, that's the thing. They tell you how it is. Um, that's the difference I found between the Brits and the Americans. Like the Americans will be like very friendly at first, but not necessarily
Oh
will
yeah.
be your friend, real friend.
Yeah.
But in the UK, if they treat you as business, they're gonna talk to you as business and they're gonna keep their distance. But if
Huh.
they come close to you, then they're close to you. You
Hmm.
know?
Interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
Huh. Would you say those are your favorite people out of anywhere you've ever been, or?
Favorite people? No, Costa Ricans.
Oh, right. Yeah, exactly.
No, Costa Ricans. No, 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 no.
Really?
I'm not. I'm not.
Not
I'm
just
not.
women. Okay.
I'm not biased right now. I'm not gonna say anything about my wife or her family or anything. No,
Okay.
I went to Costa Rica, and my wife and everybody else was talking. Like, I'm like, how do you know these people? I don't know them. Like, she would ask a
Hmm.
question randomly with somebody on the road, and okay, like, where's the bank? And but that's what I would say, right? Good morning. Where's the bank? They would say, oh, down the street to the right. Thanks. That's it.
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh, good morning," like in Spanish. How are you? How's your day? Beautiful day. Yes, I love your shoes. Oh, I love your hair. Uh, do you know by chance where's the bank? Yes, sure. Do you remember where that thing was? Yeah, to the right there. If you don't
Wow.
find it, you can ask that person there. He knows very well the area. Thank you so much. Thank you. Have a nice day. And they really talk like
Wow.
that and they really act like that. Some amazing people. They reminded me movies of the 50s and 60s where people used to talk with more respect. They used to like be friendly. They used to be open. um, I really enjoy the Costa Ricans, I have to say.
Hmm.
The best. And I'm including the Greeks and everybody else to that. Like, they are the best. The Costa
Wow.
Ricans. The Costa
Interesting.
Ricans, yeah, yeah, yeah. They're
Huh.
really nice, really nice.
And Lonnie just subscribed. He appreciates your answer.
Thank you, sir. Just
Nice.
subscribe to your channel. Thank you. You should all do that.
Everybody here. Is it still? Well, actually, Keith put it up. Is it still? I feel like it disappeared. Hold on, let me pull this up.
I hope my
Uh,
phone doesn't die, by the way, because
I was just about to mention. Is there anything that? Well, what is your? What's your battery? I was gonna say, is there anything that you wanted to
it was
mention?
20% like 10 minutes ago, so I don't
Oh
know
God,
how it goes.
you might be close. So I guess
Let me
just in
see.
case.
10%. I'm 10%.
Okay, all right.
I'm 10%.
I'm gonna put Constantinos in the Constantinos channel right here.
Oh, thank you, Chad.
Put put that in again.
193, almost 2 meters.
Yeah, unreal. What a guy. Um,
Nobody's jealous. Thank you for the link, sir.
Go
Yeah.
subscribe if you haven't already. But do you have any like parting wisdom or messages for anybody out in the world who may see this?
No.
Hey, not bad.
Listen, we've been talking for 2 hours. What else can
I
I
know
say? There's
you've
nothing
learned.
else I could say.
I've learned a ton from you. No, it's I just like to put that out there. It's
Next
funny.
time, you know what? Next time I'm gonna do a live, and I'm gonna have you, and I'm gonna
Please.
interrogate you.
Oh, I hope so. Do it. Yeah.
Okay?
Waiting for someone
I'm
to
gonna.
interrogate me.
I will do that.
Yeah.
I will
Hell yeah,
do
man.
that because you keep asking everyone questions, but you never answer. So it's
That's right.
time. The time is coming.
I know. I think I've only done two now, and yeah, still, I haven't gotten the hard hitting questions that I think you'll probably no, but I'd love to for sure, and I really appreciate you coming and doing this with me now for the second time. I'm glad to actually get your story and not just news the first time, but what
Well,
can we
we
do?
did everything. Well, thank you for having me, my friend.
Of
We'll
course.
talk soon, and I think I have your number too, right? I think so. I gotta check.
Oh yeah, I think so. I didn't even think about it. I just thought right to Instagram. I was like,
Yeah.
let me just message him. Let me just message him there.
Oh my God, you're such a millennial.
I think I'm actually Gen Z.
You're Gen Z.
Hmm. Right on that cuff, man. 97. 96 is the millennial. I'm 97.
Oh,
I'm right on the cuff. So how
oh,
dare you? I don't want
well, I'm a millennial. What can I say?
to. Ew. Yeah, I don't want to be in that group. That's.
Uh, and I'm from the old millennials too. I was born
Yeah,
in
you're
'84.
84. Oh, so you're my sister's age. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, so you're the in-betweeners. You guys are
yeah.
good. Um, that's funny. Yes, wow. Credit card, travel, Europe, Costa Rica, life, all in one show. That's right. Uh, yeah,
Well,
I
thank you guys for
appreciate.
watching. They've been amazing. Yeah, they've been all this time
Yeah, I
here.
appreciate everybody. I'm sorry I'm not able
Thank you.
to always get to everything you write, but I do read everything that comes through. So I'm aware of everything that's is happening, but sometimes it's hard
While
to
I'm
get to.
doing the talking,
Yeah, right. Well, I'm like, all right, nice, okay, right, thanks.
let him
Uh,
talk. Let me read.
right, right. But at the end, usually I'll say, like, I appreciate
You
some
two are a
people.
couple. Look at that.
Oh, look
Ah,
at that. Since we've been pushing out to like all the weird audiences, every single we get a bunch of gay comments, bunch of couple comments. It's amazing. So,
uh,
every I'm usually dating everybody who comes on the show. So at least for the first couple hours, and then we'll break off for a little bit. But no, I appreciate everybody who's been here. Fog, Michael Wong, Phil, Cesar, of course, Chad, John, Lonnie, and a bunch of other people that we saw earlier. Chombe, of course. So there's people I could see in the last second. But everybody who's here, appreciate everybody who comes every single week. And one more time to Konstantinos and Chombe just said congratulations for your newborn as
thank
well.
you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks, everyone.
All right, I guess enjoy, have fun today, and I guess I'll see everybody next week. Next week I'm excited. We have some fun things planned next week, but I'll leave it. All right,
Okay.
I guess
Ciao.
take care. Take care, man.
Bye.